Well, I've got another all-terrain fat bike for you. This one is from VTUVIA for $1,699, placing it in a very competitive price range. But it does have the stats to compete with a large motor and battery, a speed rating of close to 30 miles per hour, and a range rating of near 50. So let me show you exactly what the bike can do, first starting with a speed test. Well, what we got to work with here is a 750 watt motor in the rear wheel, and that's powered by a 48 volt, 13 amp hour lithium battery that can be removed, takes 6 to 7 hours, and they do supply a US standard smart charger for this bike, which is nice. Top of the battery, there's a battery level readout, and on the right side, there's a spot for the 2 keys. The bike's got 5 pedal assist levels. The top level is supposed to take you up to 28 miles per hour. In the settings on P8, you can limit how fast the bike goes. I do have it set to the highest level, so I'm going to start with pedal assist level 1 and show you how fast this can go. Okay, 1 is 7. It's a nice jump there on 2. 2 is 12. 3 is 16. 4 is 20. And 5 is 24. That was 2 less than the rating. Still pretty good speed for a bike in this price range. 24 is not that bad. It's time to test out the acceleration. The bike has got a bunch of weight to haul around at 76 pounds. It can carry a rider up to 350 pounds, so very high weight capacity. I'm gonna do 2 tests with pedal assist 5 straight throttle. Before I start with the pedal assist test, in the settings on P9, you can switch the bike from a 0 to a non-zero start. So if you do like a little bit of delay where you can pedal maybe a couple revolutions before the power kicks on, there is that option. P10, you can turn the throttle only on and cut the pedal assist, or vice versa, or have both the throttle and the pedal assist work at the same time, which is what I have the bike set to. And then P11, you can change the pedal assist sensitivity. I do have that cranked all the way up. I want this bike as sensitive, as reactive as possible for this test and for the whole review. I've got a full charge on the bike, pedal assist 5 first. I'm gonna start in the first gear and show you what it can do. Here we go. There's like a half a revolution before the power kicks on. Our first gear is a little bit, that needs a tune up. Man, but that, once that power does engage, it is quick. Woo! Okay, now just straight throttle, here we go. Ooh, pretty slow off the line. Up to 6, 11, now we're starting to get some power. Pedal assist off the line is quicker than throttle is. There's 25. I'm going to keep it pressed to see if we can get, oh, there's 26. Wow. 27. Can we get 28? 28? Nope, 27. Well, that is good to know. So the bike has a top speed of 27 miles per hour when using the throttle. The SJ26 has a range rating of 38 to 48 miles. Just gonna stay at 20 miles per hour, very few stops. I do have a full charge on the battery. Let's see how far I can go. Well guys, make sure you check the screws back here. Both those were loose and they came out at the same time. So now it's just kind of hanging there. It's around 1 battery bar gone, and I've gone 11.46 miles. All right, well, let me tell you some stuff about the bike as I'm on the range test. Starting off with the look and design, which is pretty cool. You gotta love the bright yellow rims. It really makes the bike stand out. Then they formed the battery to, fit in between the 2 bars at the very top. The wiring is a big rat's nest. They got it wrapped in a few places, but most of it's pretty spread out. Right behind the stem, the wiring goes all internal, so it is nice from that point on. Now let me talk about geometry for a minute. It is a bigger bike. It's 73 inches long, and it has a 45-inch wheelbase and a 31-inch standover height. It's rated to fit a rider 5'3" to 6'3". I personally like the size of it. I'm 5'11". It's easy for me to manage and control. I can straddle it, stand over it and still have some space and some room there. If you're on the smaller size of that rating, this is gonna be a lot of bike to manage. I'm gonna say 2 battery bar is gone, because when I'm riding, like, it'll go down to 2, and then when I stop it goes up to like 4. So anyway, it's got to be close to 2 gone, and I've gone 16.33 miles. Really like the balance. Right off the bat, I could ride this without any hands. Going faster, 25-30 miles per hour, it's just, it glides. It can handle those higher speeds very well. As far as the noise, it's average for bikes in this price range. When I'm climbing, it starts to get a little bit louder. When going flat out, it starts to get a little bit louder. If I'm just cruising along at 20 miles per hour, it's not too bad. The handlebars do adjust just with an Allen wrench. You just have to loosen it, and then you can adjust it, and it will click into place at different levels. I've got it set to the highest position, and it feels like a foldable bike where I'm just sitting in it like a chair. This being a fat tire bike, the handling on this is a little bit more stiffer than skinny tire bikes. It does take more effort to turn the bike. I like the size of the grips. They're textured, they're solid, they don't move. It's something that you would find on an off-road mountain bike. They're the same size as my Specialized SL Evo. On the right, there's a SIS Index 7-speed shifter, and that's average for bikes in this price range. I don't really like this type of shifter. I prefer them underneath. But going down 7 to 1, I can do that with one press of the thumb, coming back up, nice and fast, one at a time. It's got a larger saddle, and it is form-fitting. I actually like it. It's fairly comfortable, and there's also a handle, and that is nice when I'm, hauling this around. It's got a front fork suspension. You can lock that out. The third range test will be an off-road test. I'll talk more about that suspension on that. As far as paved trail riding, very nice, very smooth. And then last but not least, there's 26 by 4-inch TPI Kenda fat tires. And they're some of the more beefier tires I've seen. They do make quite a bit of noise on paved trail, but I'll also talk more about those on the off-road range test. I want to go over the throttle and pedal assist sensitivity. There's a thumb throttle on the right side. Again, it's one of these little cheapy plastic throttles. And it does take about 1 inch or just over 1 inch for the power to engage. And once it does engage, it's like it goes. It's hard to maintain a certain speed. If I move it even just a little bit after it engages, it's jumpy. But going about 15 miles per hour, if I release it, instantly cuts out. Going 16 if I hit it. There's about a half a second delay before the power comes on, but when it does, it's abrupt, and again, it goes. It wants to go fast. Now the throttle gives you full power. It doesn't depend on the pedal assist level. If you have the pedal assist level set to 0, you also cut the power to the throttle. Now on the 7th gear, on pedal assist 1, yeah, that's a lot of pressure. This is a heavy bike. On pedal assist 2, I'd say I'm about 3/4 my cadence, which is 70 RPM. Pedal assist 3, I'm just about to my cadence, which is interesting. This is where the bike most bikes usually take over, but I can still, I'm probably about 67, 68 RPM now, and I'm still feeling some good resistance. Pedal assist 4, regular cadence, bike is doing all the work. If I increase it, maybe 5 to 10 RPM, that's when I can feel some resistance. And then pedal assist 5, going 22, 23 miles an hour. If I stop pedaling, there's about a half a second delay before the power cuts off. Then going 20, if I start to pedal, there's about 1 1/4 revolution in the pedals before the power comes back on. So as far as the pedal assist reaction time for a bike in this price range, it's about average. That's usually what I typically see. I just lost the 3rd battery bar, 3 out of 5 gone, and I've gone 22.84 miles. Okay, that's it. The bike's power, man, it died like perfectly about 3 blocks away from my truck, and it was going 20 miles per hour, and then it wasn't. Just like somebody turned off a light switch. So good to know. That last battery bar, you don't have too long on that, maybe 4 or 5 miles if you're riding at 20 miles per hour, constant speed. Anyways, I got a huge range, 31.70 miles, which is awesome. Elevation gain is pretty impressive at over 1,700 feet. So that's an excellent range for that type of elevation gain. Okay, this is a range test 2 on a paved surface. Lots of stops, harder riding. It's very hilly. Gonna head up this canyon. Should Should have about close to 1,000 to 1,500 feet elevation gain. Gonna start my workouts. I do have a full charge on the bike, so here we go. The first battery bar gone, and I've gone 5.33 miles. I've lost 2 battery bars, and I've gone 7.33 miles, and it's been all uphill. Turning around now, gonna head back down, so should make up some distance here on the way back down. Lost another battery bar, down to 2, and I've gone 16.72 miles. Okay, that wraps up the range test. The bike has 2 battery bars on it. Really, I bet there's just 1 left, and it's probably just over 1. Now with 4 battery bars, I got 19.62 miles with 1,456 feet elevation gain, which is awesome. For riding hard, that is a killer range. It's time to see how this does off-road. This is the off-road range test. Got another full charge on the bike. Start workouts. So here we go. Okay guys, well, for this being such a heavy bike and for the price range, you're not gonna wanna take this on like super gnarly terrain. I found a pretty flat and open road. There's not a lot of rocks, not a lot of sands, a little bit of gravel. The road is well used, but it's not like to the point where it's just super washboardy. And I gotta say, it's handling it really well. I can go over 20 miles per hour and not have my eyeballs rattle and shake out of my skull. I lost my first battery bar and I've gone 6.17 miles. The tires have good grip, they're 4 inches, so there's a lot of surface area on there, which is nice for this gravel road. I can turn and not slip out, and there's not really a lot of sharp turns on this road anyways, but it is kind of a harder rubber. So what I've done is lower the PSI quite a bit, and that has really helped to take out the smaller vibrations. I definitely noticed a difference in comfort when I did that. So if you do pick this up, if you want to go explore, use it for off-road riding, definitely lower that PSI down. The front suspension does an awesome job at taking care of those bigger bumps. I got no complaints there. I can feel that front fork working and moving. The second battery bar gone, and I've hit 9.19 miles. If you want to enjoy the ride more, I would stay on flatter roads. I did take this on a small section up to this power line trail, and I had to stand up and pedal on the easiest gear to help it up. It is a heavy bike, it's not that expensive, so that kind of makes sense that you're not going to want to take this up super steep terrain. So overall, as far as taking this off-road, I give it a 7.58 out of 10 for the price range. It's definitely doable and pretty nice ride. In case you guys ever wonder why I carry such a big backpack around all the time, it's for times like these when I'm 10 miles away from my car out in the desert and I got a flat tire. So that's lovely. Okay, I was able to ride it back. It just was a slow leak. I had some canister air that I just threw in it, and it lasted. But on the way back, I just had full throttle, just trying to get back as fast as I could. So not a lot of stops, but I rode it hard. Anyway, oh, and then I had 2 battery bars left over. So I think, and most of that second battery bar I had. Anyway, I went to 16.27 miles with 1,436 feet elevation gain. And so if I would have taken that till the end of the battery, I'm thinking easy over 20 miles per hour, or 20 miles, and probably over 2,000 feet elevation gain. I was still climbing pretty good. So anyway, now you know what it can do for some off-road hard riding. There's no hill rating for the SJ26, but the motor does produce 80 Newton meters of torque. This is 18 to 20% grade, 2-block long hill, full battery, pedal assist 5. I'm on the second gear. First gear is a little bit finicky. There's some good resistance in the pedals. I'm giving it maybe about 15-20% work or effort. Bike's doing most of the work. Down to 6. Getting the job done, but it doesn't do it easy. Starting to come over the top and gaining in speed, and that's pretty much it. So 6-7 miles per hour is fairly slow for that hill. It got me to the top. You do have to put in some effort. I've got dual disc brakes on here, so I'm gonna do a Brake test, again, going down the same hill I just came up for the hill test. Brake levers are not the best feeling, kind of cheapy. And when you do press them, they do cut out the motor, so they do have motor cutoff. Here we go, down the hill. Just gonna lightly press them as I start to descend. Oh, there's some pretty good squeaking. Ah, very loud squeaking. Get some speed here, hit them again hard. Ooh, lots of skidding in that back tire. I wish they had a little bit better brakes on this. That was a long distance to stop. Let me run you through the control pad and LCD screen. The pad is on the left. Hold down the M button for the screen to turn on. Sunny day, and I can see that just fine. It is backlit with 3 levels. Up and down again, of course, to change the pedal assist levels. Hit the M button to scroll through different readouts. Up in the top right corner. Hold the up and down at the same time to enter the P menu, and it's very easy to cycle through. Just hit the M to go through the different P levels. And then P2, you can change the units. P4 is the auto off. You can set when you want the bike to turn off if you forget to. P6 is the wheel size, and P16 is the odometer reset. The SJ26 is waterproof, has a 1-year warranty, and free shipping in the lower 48. Well guys, that wraps up the review, and overall I thought the bike performed pretty well, especially with range. It had a really good range test on all 3 tests. If you do want to pick it up, I've got the link in the description. Also, be sure to check out my website, electricrevolutionreviews.com. There you can find all my reviews sorted by price and capability. Hit that like button before you go, and please subscribe for the latest in electric bike, board, and scooter reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.